They said no woman could ever pull it off. That no pilot alive could drag steel wings that low across a battlefield and survive. And those words didn't come from rookies. They came from the SEALs, men who had seen death blink at them more times than most people see birthdays. But absolutes always leave space for the unexpected. And this time, the unexpected wore a flight suit, a silver oak leaf on her chest, and eyes that carried the storm she had already conquered. So listen close, because this isn't just another war story. It's a story about defiance, about proving a point no bullet could erase. And if you're watching from the safety of your home, buckle in. What happened next rewrote what courage really looks like. The desert was merciless, heat rising like a hammer. And down below, the SEALs were cornered. Enemy fire rained down from the ridges. Mortars ripped the ground into fountains of dust. Every escape sealed. Every option gone. Their radio call for air support weren't just urgent. They were desperate. And then the reply came back. The only pilot in range was Major Catherine Ironhand Reeves. The SEALs groaned. They remembered the stories. The woman who embarrassed senior officers in training, who flew circles around every simulator, but who was always told she was good, just not that good. And this wasn't good. This was impossible. The canyon was too narrow. Wings could barely fit. The only way to put steel on target was to fly lower than anyone had ever dared. So low the margin for error wasn't measured in feet, but in inches. The order came. Reeves didn't hesitate, didn't stall. Her reply was calm. Steady. Copy. I'll make the run. On the ground, the SEALs barked out laughter. Not the happy kind, the nervous kind, the kind men give when they stop believing in miracles. Because to them, this wasn't a rescue. It was suicide. But then they heard it, a low rumble. The growl of something alive in the sky, a thunder that shook the earth beneath their boots. And over the ridge she came, the A-10 Thunderbolt, wings wide, engine screaming, dropping into a canyon that looked more like a coffin than a flight path. She's insane, one muttered. No, another whispered. She's trying to save us. Dust tore at their lungs. Bullets cracked the stone. The jet sank lower, lower still. Inside the cockpit, alarms wailed. Red light screamed. Pull up, pull up. But Reeves just whispered to herself, not today. And then she did the unthinkable. She rolled the Thunderbolt sideways, cutting her wingspan in half, sliding through the canyon like a coin through a slot. Stones scraped steel. Sparks flew. And the impossible became real. Then came the storm. The GAU-8 Avenger cannon. BRRT. The roar was like the sky itself being torn apart. Enemy nests shredded into silence. Gunfire gone. And for the first time that day, hope lit the SEAL's eyes. But victory doesn't come easy. Her radio crackled with a warning. Abort, Major Reeves. Abort. Sam detected beyond the ridge. Any other pilot would have pulled out. But Reeves knew better. The missiles weren't beyond the ridge. They were inside the canyon. Camouflaged. Waiting. If she climbed now, she'd be dead, and the SEALs would die with her. So instead, she pushed lower. Her wingtip carved dust off the canyon wall. She grit her teeth. You want low? I'll show you low. White trails ripped from the shadows. Missiles screamed to life. The SEALs below froze. This was it. They were about to watch her die. But Major Reeves didn't flinch. She yanked the stick, rolled hard. One missile slammed into rock. Another spiraled into nothing. The last locked onto her tail. Chasing. Hunting. Second from impact. And that's when she pulled her final card. She cut the throttle. Dropped her nose. Let gravity drag the A-10 so low the landing gear almost scraped the canyon floor. The missile overshot, slamming into the ridge above. The explosion ripped the canyon apart. Stone collapsed onto enemy positions. The sky vanished in fire and dust. The SEALs hit the ground, blinded, deafened, certain it was the end. And then silence. Through the smoke, through the chaos, she rose, the A-10, battered, scarred, but alive. And so was she. The woman they said couldn't do it had just rewritten the laws of combat. Her voice crackled across the radio. Calm, steady, target neutralized. friendly, secure, heading home. The SEALs stared skyward, not laughing, not doubting, just in awe, because they had seen the impossible, and it had saved them all. Later, the reports called it luck, reckless, but the SEALs told the truth. They said, in the desert, when death closed in, a woman in an A-10 broke it apart by flying lower than anyone thought possible. And from that day forward, no one dared say again that courage had agenda.